So this is all the tools that you're going to need. I have 2 screwdrivers and a little pry bar there to kind of remove the clips. You have a 7mm quarter-inch drive, quarter-inch extension. I have a 10mm on a 3/8 drive. Then I have a 14mm on a 3/8 drive, 15mm on an impact, and a screw gun. That's all the tools that you need to remove this dash. Coming up here underneath the passenger side, you have one bolt right here. It's a 14mm, and this right here is a pivot. You have another one over on this side, same location, just over there. You got that one 14mm bolt and then the pivot. Then up here you have a few 7mm bolts. So you have one right here, one right here, one right here, one right here, and one right here. Now that's pretty much it for the dash. And then we're gonna I'll show you where the bolts are for the steering column. Now the steering column, you have 2 bolts right here. You have one there, one there. They're 15mm, and I will use the impact right here to remove those. Then right here you have 4 bolts. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me see if I can get a better shot of that. So you have 1 bolt here, 1 bolt here, 1 here, and 1 here. Those are 10mm. Remove those, and then the whole column will come down. Alright, now I'm going to remove the 2 bottom bolts. They're 14mm. I'm going to film it right here. Now I'm going to remove the 4 10mm bolts right here. So now what we're going to do is we're going to remove the 5 7mm bolts that are in the dash. You got one here, one here, one here, one there, and one right here. We'll start on the outside. Okay, it should pivot down like this so that we can get behind there and access the wires. I'll get you a little bit closer. Now at this point, you pretty much can look down there and see all the wires that you still have to disconnect. It's not too complicated. Just gotta kind of fish in there and just unhook the wires that are in the way, that are connected. There's one big fuse harness that goes back to the firewall. That needs to be unplugged. And then there's a couple up there for the radio and the AC controls, and then the computer over there on the far end. I'm going to go ahead and remove those now. Okay, I decided that I was going to take the whole steering column out, so I disconnected the wire harnesses. These harnesses are kind of tricky. There's a push pin on one side that goes down one way and a push pin that goes the other way. So you got to kind of like squeeze them, one on each side. But I disconnected all the harnesses. I didn't cut anything. It all just comes right out, and then I'm just going to turn my column. You got to kind of put a little bit of spin on it. It only comes out one way. You got to line up the column shaft. Kind of wiggle it. Then it goes through that spot, and then we're going to turn it just a little bit and slide it out. So here we are back in the firewall. Now to remove this harness that's connected to the dash, so you don't have to remove anything else. Now you can still do this if you have all the hood and fenders and all that stuff on. You just got to undo this 7mm bolt, and it'll kind of bring itself out as you unthread it. And then you have to push this in, and this is what holds the wire harness in on the other side. This goes straight to the dash. So what you want to do is there's these little tabs. Grab a little screwdriver here. So there's these little tabs that you just got to bend in. Once they're inside the firewall, it should just push through, and then the whole wire harness should come through the other side. Okay, just like that. I'll take you over here on the other side so you can see what we're doing. So now we push that whole wire harness through, and all we have to do is just bring this through here, get the release here, get this out of the way, pull the carpet back a little bit, and this whole wire harness will come down. Then all we have to do is just unplug the things that we don't need that go up to the dash. Okay, so here's the entire wire harness. Now this is what was mounted in the Firewall. This is what's mounted to the dash, and there is nothing connecting to the truck anymore. Okay, so this is all completely separated, and I didn't cut one wire. Everything's a plug and play. This, if you take this out, you should be able to plug it all back in. It's even wire coded. It tells you what goes where. Very simple, very easy to put back together. Shouldn't be too complex. So now we can tip the dash down and remove the dash. So now that I've got the harness all removed, I've got the column out of the way, I'm just going to remove this last bolt, which is going to, I just put this up to kind of hold it in place while we unhooked everything. Now I got a helper here to kind of help me take it down. This should be the last time. Okay, let it pivot. Pivot down. Like that. Just set it right there. That's good. Thank you. Alright, remember what I said before. We're putting this in the exact same way the assembly line did, but we're doing it in reverse. So there's a couple plugs that we still have to unplug. So we want to unplug the computer. This is the ECM. Why they put it in a position like this where you can't get it in and out, I have no idea. But that's Chevrolet. Okay. And we also unhooked this wire here, but we just cut it because I couldn't figure out how to unhook that. But you could actually unplug it from here. So you wouldn't need to cut this, but I didn't care because we're not using this. But if I was to sell this to somebody, all you have to do, you can leave that attached to the car and just unhook this plug right here, which is pretty simple. There's 4 pins. Okay, and then anyway, it's very simple. Unhook this, then you can leave this wire harness in here attached to the computer. Does that make sense? Alright, now so all that's left here, we have a couple plugs. So this right here is for my antenna, for our radio. Unplug that. And then we got a little clip right here. And then we got 2 white clips. Just put a little screwdriver in there and then pull those out. Okay? That way your wire harness can stay in the truck. Then from here, you have a couple other little harnesses to disconnect. Okay, that one's unhooked. And this one hooks behind the dash. Unhook that one. Now remember, we didn't cut any wires. This is all still factory wiring. All you do is pull it out. We've got one more thing to unhook, and that is our emergency brake cable. And all you do is hit that cable out. You just kind of got to get the cable out. And then unhook it like that. And then your dash is completely free. Okay. That's all there is to it. Got one more clip right here. Come on. The last one, of course, has got to fight me. So we got one more clip. Hey, I'm making this real, so you guys can see the struggle's real. One last clip. And the dash is completely free. All the factory harness is still in it. We have to disconnect anything on the inside, we just unclip everything. And when it goes back together, it's all the same. Clips are all, none of them are going to clip into the wrong spot. They're all specific for each application. So that's the main harness, right to the fuse box. Everything here that plugs into the computer. And we're all done. So there you have it, man. That's all it did. Took us probably maybe an hour and a half to pull that dash. Like I said, all the factory wiring is there. You don't need to cut anything. Only thing you have to remove that's not like part of the wiring is the antenna cable and the emergency brake cable. Other than that, everything's just plug and play. One wire fits one plug. You can't plug it in wrong when you take it out or put it back in. So hopefully you like that. Anybody out there is interested in the door panels, we have door panels over here. We also have a bed cover that's in this truck. We also have this dash, any of the interior panels. Anybody out there that needs that stuff, just instant message me or send me a comment. I'll give you my email, and we can send this stuff out to you. So I'm not using anything that came in this truck. All we're using is the cab. So probably in about 3 or 4 weeks, we'll start stripping the other one, which is a 96. So we'll start stripping that one out, and most of those panels we'll be using, but there may be some things on that one that you guys can use as well. So hopefully you guys liked the video. Please rate, subscribe, comment, and we will see you guys next week when we pull the cab.